Hello, my name is Alicia. I am a Fort Worth HR chapter member. Today we are continuing the Career Search Series piece, and we will be speaking with Danielle Williams. Danielle is a senior benefits specialist who's been in the industry for over 15 years. Thank you so much for being with us today, Danielle.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Do you want to take a few moments to kind of tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I have been in the HR industry for more than 15 years. I started off in recruiting and then moved my way through HR until I found my niche in benefits, where I have been for more than 10 years. And I enjoyed the field very much, and working with other people and customers on a daily basis.
Absolutely. It's definitely a area of expertise that is very detail oriented, and it takes a special person to deal with benefits.
Very much so. Just like it takes special people to deal with any function in HR, I think.
Absolutely.
I think all of us really find our niche of where we need to be in HR once we find our careers there.
Exactly. Definitely. So let's move to question one, which what is the hardest thing about virtual interviewing?
For me, the hardest part was getting everything set up and making sure that I had everything where it was comfortable for me. I made sure that my technology was working. I made sure that the area that I was going to be using for my interview was well lit. I made sure the camera was at a good distance. Just getting everything prepared, because even though we may be remote, we are still professionals, and we still need to show that professional side. Of course, we all want to make ourselves show in the best light possible. So that goes along with not only what they see us wearing, but also the lighting of the area they're in. If there's distractions, all of those things have to be adjusted to before you begin your virtual interview to make it go that much smoother.
That's so true. We're so used to going into maybe an office setting, so we only have to show ourselves. So now we're having to adjust and adapt by making sure our background and our area is more in a professional setting. And it is a lot tougher than it is to just go ahead and do an in-person interview.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You have to make sure your background is clean. You have to make sure the distractions are locked up. You want your lighting to be good so you don't look kind of orange, which the original place that I was interviewing from, I had an orange tint to me. And so I thought that was not the look that I was really going for.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great. So the next question, were there steps in the recruiting process leading up to or after your virtual interview?
So the first thing I did with the company that I interviewed with was I went through a phone interview with them. And that really helped set up the relationship that you develop when you are doing interviews, because we do develop a small piece of a relationship with the person that we're interviewing with. So talking to them on the phone gave me that introduction to that person and made my virtual interview much more conversational than kind of stilted and halted in the way that some interviews can be. They sent me the link before the interview. They sent it out just like an Outlook invite, so I could test the technology before I actually had my interview, so I can make sure my system was working right. I made sure that I had the meeting ID with me, as well as the password, because those things, sometimes you need them with Zoom and then sometimes you don't. So I found that it was much better to have them written down in front of me before the interview in case I needed them while trying to log in.
Yes, I know that's the last thing you want to deal with is to fumble around and not
Yes,
be on time. And I definitely,
exactly.
I know
Exactly.
technology can be a little finicky, so you just never know. And it's,
Yes, it can.
it's
Yes,
been
you can.
great. The final question is, what is one tip you would give candidates on virtual interviewing?
I would say be prepared. Make sure that you have everything that you need for your interview all in hands reach from where you are set up for the interview. Make sure you have a copy of the job description. Make sure you have your questions that you're going to be asking the interviewer in front of you. Make sure you have a copy of your resume nearby so that if they want to talk through that, you have that handy. Make sure that you have your notepad and writing utensil with you so that during the interview, all of those things are right in a hand's reach so that you have all of those tools with you and ready to go. Make sure that the technology works. Make sure that you're dressed appropriately. Make sure that you have locked up whatever distractions or put away your distractions. I have pets, and so sometimes I have to make sure that they are all in a safe, enclosed, and far away area so that they don't come walking across my screen during an interview. But being prepared, and I prepared the night before for my first virtual interview to make sure that I was really comfortable and I didn't have to do any scrambling the morning of the interview. And that preparedness really helped it go so much smoother for me.
Oh, absolutely. Being prepared for an interview is one of the key aspects, I think, in conducting a successful interview. Having
Absolutely.
everything around and, kind of making sure other distractions, animals, children, significant others,
Yeah.
spouses, making sure that they don't walk in. It's very important.
Yes. And it's in a lot of ways, it's just like preparing for an in-person interview when you bring all of those things with you, but there's added steps, there's that ensuring your distractions aren't going to interfere, making sure that the area that the interviewer is going to see in your home or office is tidy and clean. You know, all of those things help that interview just go much smoother.
Exactly, because now you're having to sell not only yourself, but your area that you're interviewing,
Yes,
because you're bringing them into your home now instead of going into their office or conference room.
absolutely.
So you have to sell more than just yourself now.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Danielle, for taking the time to answer our questions for the Fort Worth HR Career Search Series. We truly appreciate you taking the time for us, especially to help those who are in a situation where they are looking for a new career adventure. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.